Hello friends, Sherry here. I was just on our neighborhood watch websites that I'm on, and let me tell you guys, every day, I created this channel to do subjects like homesteading in the city. We really want to move out of the city and end up having our homestead and everything, but I just felt like just talking about what's going on in my city, because Portland got really famous because of everything that went on. Everybody knows about it. Everybody knows about Portland, Oregon now. Everybody in the world. But a lot of times you don't get to hear from the residents themselves. And I am one of those residents that live here. We have our home here in Portland. We pay one of the most highest taxes in Oregon, if not the most taxes in all of Oregon. And, like I said before, everyone talks about how crime has risen up in all the cities of the USA. And, for us living in Portland used to be a really boring city, like I said before. There's just a fire in my belly right now or in my heart, because yesterday seeing the post office all vandalized, like I'm just literally like just wanting to cry and just frustrated that we do our part as residents here in Portland, and yet our leaders do nothing. I mean, the solutions that they have does not make sense to any of us, to a lot of us here in Portland. And it's gotten to the point where a lot of people are afraid to stand up and speak up about it, because we might be retaliated, or we're just afraid. And we're afraid of even going out of our houses. And so, just watching and listening to the voices on our neighborhood watch, some of us want to, in a sense, fight back and, question the leadership here as to why they're not doing enough to keep our neighborhood safe. There's schools here, there's elementary school kids and, junior high kids that, we need to keep them safe. We need to keep our children safe here. And countless times as residents, we've found needles on the ground, and all it takes is just for a little kid to pick it up. And if that needle is infected with HIV or other diseases, that little kid has to go through antibiotic sessions at the hospital or at his doctor or her doctor. And I've read that happened to one of our residents here in Portland, our fellow neighbors. And it's really crazy. Yesterday, and let me tell you about Portland. Portland is a beautiful city. Let me tell you. When they say Portland and, this is Portland, this is the waterfalls, that's outside of Portland. It's within Multnomah County. It's within the county that I live in. But it's absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. Unfortunately, the reputation of Portland has taken a darker turn, and people think that, oh, it's just too terrible and stuff. But I'm telling you, we have the most beautiful nature here in Oregon, especially near Portland, guys. From Multnomah Falls to all the falls, Wachella Falls, what is that called? Lateral Falls, all the falls that I've been to. And the scenery here is just breathtaking. Like, one of the best, like, in the world. Like, I've been to other countries. I've lived in Hawaii all my life, and Oregon's beauty is breathtaking, let me tell you. But our leadership here definitely, I think, has failed all of Oregon, and especially Portland. And it's just crazy. It's just really crazy when leaders say that they care about the houseless, the homeless people here, when these very people live on the sidewalks, and some of these people drive super crazy. I mean, they cut us off every time I'm on the road. If I have to bring my husband to the doctors and stuff, like, we have crazy drivers, and we have houseless, homeless people on the sidewalk. And this is not safe. And I'm just a resident that's pissed, that's really pissed. And I hear it in my neighbors' voices too. And, we're just talking that we all should band together. And we're not the ones, we're law-abiding citizens. We're not the ones that's going to be rioting. We're not the ones that's going to be destroying businesses. We follow all the rules, and yet this is what we get. We get new sidewalks, and yet the crime is still going on. We have our government putting in new sidewalks and traffic lights when the very problems need to be addressed are not being addressed, but we get new streets. And it's just nuts. I don't know where the mindset of this leadership is, honestly. And if you were to talk, I encourage all like local newscasters and stuff to come to, or reporters, to interview fellow residents of Portland, fellow residents of Oregon, and even some other cities too, like in Salem and in Eugene and, parts of Oregon City, I guess. But I mean, Portland's one of the worst, basically. And there's beautiful people here. There's beautiful businesses here. And I feel sorry for the small business owners, because business owners are like the heart of your city. They're the ones that make your city unique. Great that there's great big box stores like Walmart and Costco and Home Depot and all that. But the heart of your city is in the small businesses. And the small businesses in our area, like, they pay like the most taxes, but they're the most they're the ones that's getting that are suffering, and they're the ones who's getting robbed most of the time. And they do everything to try to keep their businesses secure. And it just saddens me that our local food truck area is like getting robbed constantly. And it's like, where are the leaders? Where are the leaders? They are so quiet lately. But my thinking is that maybe they're on vacation again. Maybe they're just chilling again. Like, where is all this money going? I mean, we are getting taxed for property taxes, for cannabis, because cannabis is, aka weed, is legal here, okay? They get taxed every time somebody buys a product. I believe it's 20 to 25% per product. We get lottery money into our government, our local government, and then when somebody wins, they take out taxes out of that. We get some weird tax called art tax. I don't even know what that's all about, but we're supposed to pay for that too. Sorry, my rice cooker is going. So I don't know. I am just pissed, guys. Seeing the local post office and hearing my neighbor, some of my neighbors are elderly. Some of my neighbors are low income. Some of my neighbors have very limited income, okay? And they don't have, a lot of people do not have the convenience, and they're like, Sherry, well, why don't you move out? I have family encouraging me to move out of Portland, and we can do that. We have the ability to do so, but a lot of residents here in Portland do not. And Portland residents, I encourage you guys to stand up. Of course, we're not going to be the ones that's going to be destroying businesses, but start talking to your leaders, start talking to your neighbors, and organize meetings. And I mean, I'm about wanting to do that here, because we're tired. If you live in LA, if you live in New York or other places, get together with your neighbors and get the news there and start talking about it. Start talking about it on your social media, that no matter where you live, guys, whether you live in the ghetto area or in the rich area, whatever, we all deserve a safe place to live. And some people may look down on people that live in like the more like not so great areas, but especially if you're a homeowner, guys, you guys are paying a lot of property taxes, okay? And you deserve a place to live. It's like, the lower income areas, those are like your caregivers, those are your landscapers, those are your fast food workers, they're the ones that make the city run, okay? If it wasn't for them, all right, your city would not function. And we all deserve a safe place to live. So leaders of Portland, you guys need to do your job. We are paying our taxes. And I am just so pissed off. I am so pissed off. Yesterday, I was crying in my van. My husband didn't see me when I got home, but I just, and it's like, what else can you do but pray that your family and your neighbors stay safe, There's been countless times that our neighbors has been robbed. I mean, they just park their car. Someone comes in, sweeps their wallet. Someone steals the converters. And everybody keeps telling me, crime is on the rise. But in Portland, it's gotten so bad so quickly, so fast. And a lot of it has to do with the leadership. I blame the leadership, okay? I blame the leadership, because you guys are just not doing your job at all. You're not doing your job. We're doing our job as law-abiding citizens. We're doing our job as taxpayers. We're doing our job in just being good people here in Portland. You guys need to do your job.